So if we talk about the requirements of a life of an organism, because if we are starting a chapter, we have to know what are the requirements of the organism. So that's why we're gonna study, if we have the blueprint. So the nutrients are the necessity for the organism, then the oxygen, water, and they have to normal body temperature if they have some regulatory capabilities. And the the fifth one is that is to maintain appropriate atmospheric pressure, and within internal pressure also, and that is the most underrated things we discard in the biology. We know that thing, but we don't take into the consideration. For example, the flow of the blood in the brain is also have to be very regulated. The pressure has to be very regulated. In the heart, the pressure has to be very regulated. In the brain, you have heard of astrocytes, also known as the brain blood brain barrier. Okay, in Sertoli cell, if you talk about the reproduction, you have been studied about the nerd cell. Okay, so pressure is very vital and crucial. As a biologist, you neglect these things because in physics we talk about pressure more, but in the biological system the pressure is very vital and uses everywhere, so you can connect the dots of the pressure from in biology everywhere. Okay, so the nutrients, if we talk about, we have the autotrophs and the heterotrophs. Autotrophs, we when we say autotrophs, we talk about the plants, the proteus, algae. Okay, so they convert the solar energy into the chemical energy. The potential energy has been stored. And then we have the heterotrophic, and in that particular we have the non-parasitic and parasitic. Of course, the non-parasitic, such as we take nutrients from the plants, and the parasitic who take nutrients from the other organism except plants, because if you are taking from the plants, you come and into the circle of non-parasitic heterotrophic. Okay, and one interesting thing is parasitism is an evolutionary thing which has been developed. So there's a two type of parasites, the ecto and the endo. And if we talk about the parasite, sometimes in fact the majority of the times they don't have the digestive system and all. Okay, and the digestive system is the most crucial for the diseases and the all the problems which has been arrived after your birth, except from the congenital. Okay, and then we have the oxygens work as a जैसे कि घर में तेरे एलपीजी गैस होता है ना, तो इट्स वर्क ऑक्सीजन इज वर्क लाइक एलपीजी गैस. तो एलपीजी गैस में क्या होता है, मेनली जो गैस होता है आइसोबुटेन होता है. ठीक है, तो हमारे शरीर के अंदर जो गैस एलपीजी गैस की तरह काम करता है, वहाँ पे आइसोबुटेन नहीं, ऑक्सीजन होता है. सो ऑक्सीजन इज वेरी वाइटल. You get the food, the polymeric substance, and from the oxygen you burn it and get the energy. Okay, and फिर water. And if you कोई तुमसे पूछता है कि what is more essential for the organism and the life, water or oxygen, so of course the answer would be water. And if you don't know from the evolutionary point of view, you can state it the answer very quickly, that life originate from the water itself. Initially the atmosphere of the earth was reduction, not oxidative state. Okay, so water is more vital than the oxygen. So water तोड़ने का काम करता है, जैसे ऑक्सीजन जलाने का काम कर रहा है ना, तो वाटर एक्ट एज अ तोड़ू. ठीक है, हर चीज में तोड़ने का, कोई हाइड्रोलाइसिस वगैरह आपने सुना होगा. तो जो पॉलीमरिक कंपाउंड है, carbohydrates, for example, the carbohydrates. So carb, it has the two words. It is the beauty of the science that from the very words तुम चीज़ों को डिसफर कर सकते हो. ठीक है, कि इसका मतलब क्या है, स्पेशली इन द chemistry. ठीक है, you can get the all the structural detail just with the name. Okay, so hydrate itself represent the water. So water तोड़ने का काम करता है. For example, polymeric substance starch को ले लो, तो it converted into the glucose. And one interesting thing is that कि all the catabolic reactions जिससे हम एनर्जी बना रहे थे, ऊपर हमने देखा ऑक्सीजन फूड में डाल के एनर्जी बनाता है, तो all the catabolic reactions take up the monomers. Okay, so what we take as a food polymer, so they take the monomers. So glucose we have been found. Okay, so they take those glucose. Okay, they take the monomeric form. Okay, we can't take the polymeric form, so that's why we have the digestive system. And if you are high organism, you have to maintain the you have the ability to maintain the body temperature. And if you don't, we have you आई मीन इफ सो मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि जो नेचर है इट्स ऑल्सो मतलब कि डिफरेंशिएट, जैसे वी ह्यूमंस हम डिफरेंशिएट करते हैं यू नो कि ये गरीब है ये अमीर है। सो ये चीज़ें सिर्फ हमारे अंदर नहीं है, इट्स ऑल्सो इनबिल्ट इन द नेचर। वो भी डिफरेंशिएट करता है कि ये अमीर है ये गरीब है, बिकॉज इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द रेगुलेशन ऑफ द टेम्परेचर विद इन द बॉडी इज अ हाईली एनर्जेटिक प्रोसेस। सो ओनली दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म हैव दिस एबिलिटी, जो अमीर है जो हायर ऑर्गेनिज्म है। तो अमीरी गरीबी का जो फर्क होता है ये नेचर भी करता है, सिर्फ इंसान ही नहीं करते। ठीक है, इन द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक परस्पेक्टिव। ठीक है, so maintaining the body temperature, if you are regulator, then you can do this. Okay, homeostasis, osmotic balance and the temperature. So but the temperature should be limit regulated in a limited area also. ऐसा नहीं कि तुम चिमनी में डाल दो किसी इंसान को कि भाई ये तो रेगुलेटर है रेगुलेट कर लेगा, तो वो नहीं, इट्स अप टू अ सर्टेन लिमिट ऑल्सो। ठीक है, एंड दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म जो गरीब हैं, ठीक है, तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि वो मर गए। ठीक है, आप अपने आजू बाजू देखिए, इकोनॉमिकली जो गरीब है वो मर तो गए नहीं, तो नेचर ने उनका भी फंडा क्लियर करके रखा है। फॉर एग्जांपल जो फिशेज हैं यू नो एस्टिवेशन करते हैं, जो पोलर बियर हाइबरनेशन करते हैं। ठीक है, सो दे जैसे कि ये बर्ड्स हैं यू नो साइबेरिया बर्ड्स, वो साइबेरिया रसिया दैट इज़, वहाँ से राजस्थान में केवलादेव नेशनल पार्क है वहाँ पे आते हैं। सो नेचर ने उनको भी मौका देते हैं। ठीक है, एंड देन वी हैव द अप्रोप्रिएट एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, यू नो वी हैव टू मेंटेन द इंटरनल बॉडी प्रेशर। सो दीज आर द सो वेरी बेसिक्स व्हाई वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी द थिंग्स ऑफ द बायोलॉजी, द एंजाइम्स। So stay tuned to the chapter, and I'll share you my things in the channel, because I'm also a student, I'm reading, and you going to learn from me. And if you can join this journey also, together we together going to have a great discussion. And if you comment, I'll go live and do I mean मैं live पढ़ूंगा, and you're gonna discuss with me, have a discussion with me. It would be more fruitful. Okay, so thank you, and stay tuned to the channel, that is Jinshin.